I've been walking the streets at night, just trying to get it right. It's hard to see with so many around. You know I don't like being stuck in the crowd. And the streets don't change, but maybe the names. I ain't got time for the game, cause I need you. Yeah, but I need you. I need you, because all it takes is a little patience. Joe Root has patience. England does not. Root could have been out early pushing a ball outside off stump, almost finding a diving second slip. That can happen to any number 4 in early as your top order has collapsed. That is what we would call normal cricket, although now it should be called retro cricket, because it was nothing like we see much anymore from England. Baseball is rarely about soft hand pushes. Like Ollie Pope's lust affair with his own stumps is still happening. But the ability to force a ball back onto your stumps that would have missed the wickets by nearly a metre is something special. He got the short wide one and he moved across his crease to cramp himself up and then used an angled bat to hit it backwards. This is one of the worst starters in the history of Test cricket, and last game he managed to begin well twice, so maybe he was due a failure. But as many of his bowls are, this was ugly. Zach Crawley got another one of his easy breezy, beautiful cover boy 70 odds. His first hour was nervy and weird, but that's how he likes it. But there was always a danger of him starting again after a break. But to go out half-heartedly pulling Michael Nisa is really poor. This was a moment where a Crawley 150 could have changed the entire series. Instead, it was another tweet when an article was needed. It was just such a nothing ball, nothing shot, nothing much. And he knew it. As always, Harry Brook's entire innings is modern cricket interpretive dance. He was backing away, slocking, looking for love in all the wrong places, as he does. But outside of Crawley, it was Brook who looked the most likely to beat Australia. They just don't seem quite sure what to do with him yet. And with Brook, if you give him an inch, he'll dance down the wicket and make sure it's a metre. This was a wide full ball, and there is almost no way Brook was going to resist it. But, and this is such a big but that it needs the other team, there was a lot more going on. Australia had purposely not bowled Starc straight after lunch for this spell. England just had to survive it. This means in terms of time in the game and the bowler delivering it, this was a doubly important moment. Now, weathering storms is not Brook's bag, and so he was always going to go. It is, as you might have said for another tall English batter, just the way he plays. But the shot also has to be executed well, and it was not. Brook didn't move his feet at all, meaning he was never anywhere near the delivery. He does do this at times, but there is a way to execute this in Australia, and he didn't do it. For this delivery, you need to slash at the ball with a nearly horizontal bat, especially on a wicket with extra bounce against a tall bowler who also gets extra bounce. Brook went with one of the most angled blades he could, and therefore found slip. Do you know what makes this shot worse? The fact that Will Jacks basically replicated it moment for moment. Again, his feet were in the toilet. Again, he had an angled blade trying to reach the ball, and again, he found slip. This time, England had the soft ball, it was late at night, and this was their last chance of making a real score. All day, England found ways to gift Australian wickets on what was a flat pitch with a soft ball against Australian bowlers who weren't that accurate. The tempo of day-night cricket is that you keep wickets in hand for the night, knowing that it will be tougher for new batters. But if players are set and the ball is soft, that is your best bet. When England were 180 for 4, 150 for 2 was the call. But that requires a completely different team, and this isn't it. This was the day to go big, and instead, they just went. Until the grown-ups of Root and Stokes came together, there was no cricket played that made any sense considering the conditions. Australia probably had their best period with the ball at this point. Yet adults settled England down. And that it finished with a terrible run out was a different kind of mistake. And you can only imagine what happens if Root doesn't do this. Because according to Rushline, they still only have a 22% chance of winning, and they scored over 300 on day 1. What would have happened if Root didn't hold this batting together and they made like 230? According to Rushline, they'd have like a 2% chance of winning. So it looked like Root would carry them to near 300, before their midnight feast took them beyond it in style. But that was not where Root was at his best. It was his work getting to that moment. After his edge didn't get picked up, he played the conditions perfectly. He waited for bad balls and played good shots at them. A novel concept that won't catch on. When the ball was overpitched, he drilled them down the ground. From straight to mid-wicket, he had 5 boundaries. It was clearly a plan, but what he did to fine leg was more interesting. Australia got 2 straight to him, and he milked them like a cow with 24 udders, scoring a huge percentage of his runs behind square on the leg side. And in doing this, he moved his single zone from the point area to fine leg. Essentially, he took out the shot that often gets him dismissed in Australia, the soft-hand push to point for a single. Root played off his legs on a day the rest of his team forgot their feet. And outside of that, this was a normal Root knock. He found a way to get off strike, and then he punished the bad balls. It seems so easy, you think everyone would want to do it. But this was grown-up big boy cricket. And it took him all day to capitalise on this work, thanks to Brook and Jack's swipes, plus Stokes hitting the ball to the right hand of a fielder and taking off. It was not until Jofra Archer, of all people, that he got an Australian attack with a very soft ball who assumed the last wicket would be easy that allowed for some party runs. 300 would have kept England in the game, and they went beyond that. They still need to bowl well and understand how to manage their attack for the different tempo. A lot can go wrong from here. But Root gave them a real total when it didn't look possible. Essentially, Root has given his team time, because sometimes all you need is a little patience.